I'm going to talk a little bit about redemption, about how size matters. It's not just the cliche. And then before I go through a few other little things, and then we'll do a little practice together. But I want to start by saying this is about symbols. So we're accounting through symbols. So what is redemption? It's redeemed. Redeemed. Deemed something, right? Remember, remind, regenerate. We choose positive thoughts, we breathe safety and freedom into the body, and we give our own self a validation. We let go of negativity and we listen to the intuition more than to other people. We be our own detective and prosecutor. We do the right thing and have integrity as we grow into the moment. We're the message, not just the messenger, and we're creative in love. Think good and it'll be good, and God reflects us more than we realize. We tell the truth, at least it's interesting and funny. We try. Remember, fires leave scars and burns, right? We don't have to play with fire. So if you notice, these symbols have a lot to do with cliches we hear often. Distract the evil eye with seeing its own good. Oh, you're protecting me. So we give thanks and praise. We appreciate natural taste, and we don't take anything personal. Speech is thoughts out loud. It's trusting to share our mind. Paradoxes are the only way to study dimensions, really, because there's nothing. Basically, we could leave things alone, or because you could let it go, it will still be there. Orientation matters. Depends which way we're looking at it. We don't have to try to be in anyone else's body. The same idea, the vessel, right? So plastic is not glass, and neither one is metal. They all react differently to how you're using them, what you store in them, whether you cook in them, right? Whether they can handle heat. So nothing is random. We can pay attention to synchronicities, and there's nothing to hold a grudge against, because if we hold a grudge against someone else, it's on our behalf, right? We're like, for protecting ourselves, but it does a lot of damage. So eventually we say, let me not hold a grudge. Let me be open to innocence, right? In myself and others. I made a mistake, they made a mistake. Maybe I did that before. I might have been playing with fire. I might have been treating metal like glass. I might not have been breathing, safety and freedom into my body, or growing in the moment, or doing the right thing. Maybe I wasn't being my own prosecutor, defender. Maybe I was listening to other people more than my intuition. Maybe I wasn't thinking good, or I wasn't being creative in love, or I was trying to, force myself to be the messenger, but I wasn't acting it like hypocrite, right? I wasn't being the message. I wasn't appreciating natural. I wanted something artificial, or I was giving criticism and doubts. Maybe I wasn't being open-minded when they were sharing their thoughts. Maybe I was treating everything like it's random and not meaningful. Maybe I was trying to be in someone else's body, or I wasn't looking at different orientations of how to look at things. And what am I summarizing here? Fire is passed without reducing itself. So you could light one fire to the other fire, and you never lose the flame. So that's an idea of where size does not matter. A big flame and a small flame, infinite flame, right? And then we have size does matter. So where does that come in? So tall or short, big or small, hot or cold, right? That's the temperature degrees amount, the weight amount, and the height amount, right? Then you have these two angles. You have medulla and corona. Corona is the outside, and medulla is the inside. Your kidney has this structure. The sun has this structure. We really have to look at it as building and investing in the peel, right? The outside, the peel doesn't really help past the exposure. Like, you put sunscreen on the outside, it helps. But what about the time when there's no peel? Like, that sunscreen wears off, and then you either have to reapply it, or the protection is not built in, right? So there's a disintegration of the shells. And for example, these cells fall off, and each cell is kind of like a shell. I like that. I just thought of it. The protection, can't forget what it's protecting. So really, we need to make sure that maybe we're protecting ourselves. Are we sitting in, for example, most of us don't have this problem most of us, what I meant was, many of us do not have this problem because we live in places with seasons, but for some people, all year round, many people, there is, I made an assumption just based on where I am and the people I interact with locally, but it's very true that it could be anywhere. But we have to remember the same idea with this: the sun could do damage. That's why people who live in very sunny places often have more pigment in the skin. What it does is it protects the shells, the cells, right? So it comes from inside, right? It produces melanin. So this medulla, the inside of something, produces something on the outside. And there's life and light. That is the spark we're protecting. No shame should be in preserving that fragile, delicate essence of creative force. So why is there brokenness? Why are we so, how come that happens? So a whole vessel could contain a lot, but a broken one can contain the infinite. A whole vessel has no hole. Then we're allowed to have a broken heart. What we would like to look at this as is that now it has a hole in the middle. Love can come in, love can go out. Grief can come in, grief can go out. So the only whole heart is actually one that's been broken. Our wholeness holds our brokenness. Now it's totally whole. It has a hole in it, right? It has a hole, a space. It got something crashed in, and now it was opened, and now things can go in and out. So that heart, if it stays that way, develops sort of a coating inside, right? It protects it, and it just can handle everything rushing in and out. It's one key opens all the doors to heaven. It's a broken-hearted prayer. And for example, supermarkets and restaurants have us all cut off from the food we eat. We're being able to eat from the earth. We would say associating ourselves with love, right? Versus maybe with the one who hurts us. So if we're part of the earth and we're associating with the humans that hurt the earth, humiliate the earth, scare the earth, it keeps the love incoming receptor very small. If we treat aspects of ourselves and the earth and each other, we have to break our heart open for the experience of all, and yet there's very little we could do. So we have to think of something like Rabbi David Ingber from Romamu. He says, children have so few rights, less than adults, what's called assault. For example, the child are the most vulnerable. They're the formation of this humanity. So for me, the symbol that's coming up is like the serpents, the snakes. But before I go there, I'd like to talk about how machines copy people, just piggybacking off of what Rabbi Ingber said. My friend and I, Michael, I called him my friend. He's my friend, I guess. So it's a heavy moment because he was a lot of things. Right now in this moment, he was clearly my friend. I didn't write friend here, but So we had to talk about machines copy people, and like babies have like machine brains, and kids we have like computer minds, processing mind. So kids are following the leader and about everything, right? So everyone wants a leader. So then after that conversation with him, I started looking into this more, and I realized I had a different conversation with my friend Jason, and we were saying like, oh wow, things create by mutation. And there's a non-local network. It's like a floating hub, and probability is based on test runs. And then I spoke about it with a different friend. His nickname is Maka, and he says we have like a database brains. And I continued thinking about this, and I realized, prediction making is to pre-talk making, right? And then frequency, ray, vibration emitters. It's like AI is a derivative, so it means its morality is the limiting region. It's human morality is what limits it, as much as we have what it can do, what's possible. And it's like implanted perspectives and memories. So I want to talk about the snakes and the serpent symbols for me, how it means so many different things, how it really means many different things, and then we'll do the practice. So seraphim are related to it. It's like snakes also, which is the coils that for the hospital, the medical. And also they have like winged and a dragon. There's two types of dragons actually. One are the babies that just eat on their mother on the way out, which I know it sounds horrific. And one is like they're born, or eggs. I'm not sure how dragons, but the others are don't do that. So then serpent fire is left and right, up and down. And there's a 3-headed serpent filled with blood that regenerates its heads every time it's like cut off. And there's the kundalini, which is also what we know, like that energy is right, rising. And so we have like heart, mind, and spine, and this is like just like symbols, just interesting to think about. So like these naturally occurring patterns that exist in children, adults, in various angles, like when we notice these aspects of like the past, present, and future, how things are like the past and the future are like coiling amongst each other. We find ourselves somewhere in between, and it's not exactly a snake, but it's like that energy. So now we do like a daily accounting. Just maybe you want to close your eyes, we're going to do a practice. Each thing comes up, just announce it. So we're going to say one thing that comes up. Did I have a judgment? Yes, I judged someone. I'm thinking of it now. Just think of it and let it go. And then, did I have pride or vanity? Yes. Did I forget gratitude? Yes, I thought of it. Did I have fear? Yes. Did I have restlessness? Yes. Was I of service? Yes. Did I cause pain? Or did I have pain? Yes. Did I have lasting cravings? Yeah. Did I have despair? A little, I guess. It's hard to locate that one for me. I'll keep trying. Yeah, I had a second of despair. What brought joy? Did I have overindulgence? Yeah, I guess a little bit. Like in future tripping. Do I owe an apology to anyone? Yeah. Was I kind and loving to all? There's a moment I could be more kind. Was there selfishness? Yeah. Resentment? Yeah. Dishonesty? Almost a white lie. Like I didn't tell someone something, but I'm still deciding if I will. Any constriction? Yes. Any needs unmet? Yeah, I felt it. Hope? Yeah. Forgiveness is the last one. Yeah. All right. I'm going to record a second video now because I won't probably have time tomorrow. The Sabbath comes in very early. So I'm doing another one today in advance. All right. Thanks. Bye.